Back tonight, here on In Focus, the Congress of the People says it has started the process of finding a new Johannesburg speaker. It comes after the party terminated Colleen Makhubele's membership yesterday for allegedly breaching COPE's constitution. This after she was seen on campaign posters for the multi-party South African Rainbow Alliance, despite not getting the go-ahead to join. The ActionSA in the council is already calling for a special seating to elect Makhubele's replacement. ActionSA Johannesburg caucus leader Nobuhle Mthembu joins us now for more on that. Nobuhle, good to have you, and thank you very much for your time. Do we know at this point if the council has, or at least the City of Johannesburg has received an official letter from COPE around this termination?
Good evening, Thabo, and thank you for the invite. Currently, the city manager has not informed any of us about the vacancy, but we only saw the memo from COPE. And if you remember correctly, Thabo, this is what we've been calling for as ActionSA. Previously, we submitted 2 motions of a vote of no confidence against Colleen Makhubele. And up to date, nothing was done because at the time, we felt like she was destroying the integrity and the council as a, as a place whereby we should uphold the rules of council. Up to date, we're waiting for the city manager. We wrote to him and we don't have any feedback. But because she's a public representative, the fact that her own party decided to terminate her membership, that means there is a vacancy. It's only a matter of time before the city manager announces it.
Yeah. You have, of course, been calling for the removal of the speaker amongst other issues, but there's a sense from the government of local unity that things are quite stable in the city of Johannesburg. In fact, the members of the EFF believing that there'll be a speaker coming from the government of local unity, at least from the minority parties, in the near future. So it's not an indication of ActionSA particularly having its own speaker sitting in that position.
No, not at all. We were not calling for the removal of Colleen because we're trying to push our own candidate as ActionSA. The government of local unity currently does have the numbers. Unless something drastically changes and the Democratic Alliance negotiates and gets into discussions with other political parties that were part of the coalitions last year. But up to date, we do know that the government of local unity does have the numbers. But, 24 hours is a very long time in politics, Thabo. So I guess we just all have to wait and see.
And at this particular point, what is this costing the city fortunes that you're talking about? You're saying Colleen Makhubele must be removed because her flouting of council standing rules is costing or has costed the city fortunes.
What I mean by that, Thabo, or rather what we mean as ActionSA is during her tenure as the Speaker of Council, we've been taken in and out of court. Remember, the first matter that was taken to court was when she was presiding over the unlawful removal of the then former mayor of the City of Johannesburg. And just last week, we heard about the matter with the city manager, Floyd Brink. I won't indulge much on that one because it's still sitting in the court of law. The city did decide to appeal the court judgment. To give you also another picture or another example, just last month, Thabo, she went against the advice of the legal team and wanted a motion to be tabled in council, even though that matter is sitting in front of the court of law. So we cannot do such as councillors, but she was forcing her way with it. I can tell you now, if ActionSA did not object to that move, we would have been facing another court case against the Speaker of Council, Colleen Makhubele.
Yeah. Listen to what the EFF had to say around the situation in the city of Johannesburg, saying there is no crisis currently. Watch.
I think there are issues that can be dealt with differently in the city of Johannesburg, but thus far it's relatively stable. And we, as the economic freedom fighters, are going to support a speaker who is going to come from any of the small parties, not from the ANC, not from the Democratic Alliance. So whoever is going to be put as a candidate for the position of Speaker for the City of Johannesburg, if that person is capable, will be able to keep order in council and is able to make sure that council oversees those who are in government much more effectively, we're going to support. I don't think there is a crisis in the City of Johannesburg. There might be crises elsewhere. I don't think thus far in the City of Johannesburg there is crisis. That is why if you were to check the work that is being done by the members of the mayoral committees responsible for health and public safety, those are the EFF MMCs. You can see the impact, and even like the developments which were never there before, like the launching of a technical response unit to fight crime. It has never been done by any metropolitan municipality before. So there is relative stability in the City of Johannesburg, and we are confident that this is just a transitional measure. Colleen had to leave because she has launched her own political party, and she will realize that it's going to be very difficult because she will remain in the political party and nowhere else.
A picture of relative stability, especially in health, especially in public safety. No crisis in the City of Johannesburg. One listening to you would think there is such a crisis.
That's a laughable case, Thabo. If I recall correctly, Colleen was trying to stop a dispute between the MMC of Transport and the MMC of Finance. These two people are in the same coalition, and everyone knows that service delivery in the City of Johannesburg has taken a back seat. They are so busy and bottled in their own political matters and they're infighting that they've forgotten the residents of the City of Johannesburg.
So MMC of Finance, let's stay with that. MMC of Finance is Dada Morero, MMC of Transport, that is Kenny Gunene, if I am correct. So ANC Patriotic Alliance, what were they beefing about?
Remember, there were a lot of accusations that were thrown between the two of them, not seeing eye to eye, but I know Colleen was handling that matter, but she did not indulge more on it. She's calling for calm in the coalition. That's why I'm saying I'm questioning the stability of the coalition right now.
Yeah. And in terms of the support of a minority party speaker, will you be supporting a minority party speaker?
At this current moment, Thabo, politics is a game of numbers. Yes, we know that. GLU currently has the numbers. Yes, we know that. But we'll have to see. Things might change. You can never be certain in politics. Anything can happen between now and when the city manager to elect the new speaker. So all I'm saying right now is that no one must be too comfortable. Anything can change. Just like 24 hours back, we didn't even know that Colleen was going to be removed as the Speaker of Council.
Yeah. So are you saying your party is it currently engaging with the Democratic Alliance, which has made it absolutely clear that they will not be working with EFF, they will not work with the Patriotic Alliance, which are key players if you were to turn those numbers around? Are you saying you as ActionSA, we've seen previously you and the Democratic Alliance going at different ways, at different parts in how this should be approached? Are you talking to them? Are you engaging them to bring them on board to make a statement that says, well, in 24 hours things can change? The major change is if you would have Patriotic Alliance on your side or if you would have EFF at least on your side. All right, we seem to have lost her there on the line. Unfortunately, that line not holding up. ActionSA caucus leader Nobuhle Mthembu there. Of course, they're calling for a special council seating to deliberate on the appointment of a new speaker in the City of Johannesburg.